Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this DELL Latitude 7400. So we're going to be using a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver, and we're going to remove all the screws from the bottom. Alright, actually I think these screws stay in place, but you do want to undo them. Alright, these actually stay there so that the cover will be easier to remove. Most likely the rest are going to come out. Let's see here. Actually, are they all staying in? That's nice. Okay, so it looks like all the screws actually stay in on this model. Okay, you just have to undo them. Alright, once you've undone all the screws, we should be able to pop the bottom cover off. I'm going to try with a suction cup first, okay? So we're going to try on this side here, and we're going to pull. As you can see, it popped up. We can do the same thing over here, and pull. And there we go. Now that we got both sides up, you can see this swings out and comes out nicely. And as you can see, the screws kind of just stay in there. Though you don't want to flip it over just in case the screws fall out, okay? But they should hold themselves in place. Alright, so I'm not sure what's going on. The customer said it's randomly blue screening, especially when they move the computer around. My guess is the RAM is kind of loose or something. The battery connector is right here, if you're wondering. Actually, let me get a thumbnail for this real quick, and then we're going to go over all the internal components that I see. I'm not going to be taking everything out, but I kind of just want to show a quick look around inside. Okay, so let's take a quick look. Here you can see, I believe that's the motherboard part number, 7YM2P. Alright, if you want to disconnect the battery, there's this little pull tab here. You just pull it straight up, and it should come out. You have to somewhat hold the motherboard down though, and there we go. So now we got the battery out. Okay, I'm not going to remove this stuff, but there's the wireless card is right here. There's a LTE WWAN slot here for like cell service type internet. You got the BIOS CMOS battery connector right here. If you wanted to pull that out, you grab the wings and you kind of just wiggle to pull it out. I'm going to leave it in there. Speaker connector right here. Okay, and that runs along down here to the other speaker as well, so both speakers are connected there. And I'm going to lift up these little latches just to make sure all these connectors are in place, okay, because I want to make sure that nothing is loose and causing it to blue screen. But it looks like they all have the little wings that stick out to hold the connectors in place, so I don't think anything will really come loose there. So my guess is the RAM or the SSD. Okay, there's not really much else to look at in here. You got the DC jack charge port connector here, and it plugs in right here. It looks like you can just take this screw out and you can lift this metal plate up to get that out. Then you got the LCD LVDS connector here. If you are going to mess with this, make sure that you disconnect the battery, open up the laptop, and press and hold the power button 15 seconds before messing with that. Okay, it looks like there's another connector here. I'm not sure what that's for, but it's not connected to anything. Most likely PJP12, I don't know, and JASA1. I'm guessing one is for like webcam stuff and maybe touchscreen, but again, I'm not sure. So if you know, you can figure that out. Alright, anyways, we got two slots for RAM here, but we're just going to take out there's only one, so we're going to take this out. And sometimes, again, this stuff gets some corrosion or something on it and needs to be cleaned. Maybe there's dust. Here you can see this is a PC4 2666V. A lot of people will complain, but if you look at it, there's some, I don't know if you can see the stuff on the pins there. So there's like some slight marking there. So usually what I do is I just wipe it like that. If you're worried about it, you can use rubbing alcohol with paper or whatever, paper towel, and that kind of cleaned off the stuff. There's always going to be like a slight color difference. I don't know if you can see, but half of it is scraped from basically being put in the slot. Okay, anyways, we're going to blow the dust out of here. And if it is an issue with, oh, there's more models numbers here. So actually this might be the model number here, LA-G871P, okay? And it tells you DDR4. So this is slot A, as you can see, DIMM A, and slot B, DIMM B. All right, we're going to put it in at an angle like this. Make sure to push it all the way in or pull it all the way in, and then just click it down. CPU is soldered to the motherboard, okay? Alright, and then we got this SSD here. There's two screws holding it in place, so we're going to, actually 3 screws it looks like. So let's go ahead and remove those. Do those actually stay intact? Okay, it looks like all the screws actually stay attached to that. So we're going to remove the third screw here, and then we're going to lift this up. Why is it stuck? There we go. And there is a slight thermal pad there, as you can see, very thin. Then you can just lift this up slightly and wiggle this to pull that back. And there's the SSD. So there's not really much in here to do. This connector looks kind of gross as well, a little bit. So we're going to clean that off as well. Again, these pins are gold. You don't really have to worry about gold getting corroded. So don't worry too much about it. Some people say like, well, the acid in your finger oils or whatever is going to eat through it. It's like, that's nowhere near enough to destroy the gold plating. But anyways, we're going to get this back on. All right, and we'll get this on. But yeah, if you're really worried about it, you can use some like contact cleaner or whatever, and clean that up, or rubbing alcohol or anything. But yeah, it's not going to have any issues from being wiped like that. The thing you might want to worry about is static. But yeah, the oils from your hands are not going to destroy that. Okay, anyways, we got that. We're going to go ahead and plug the battery back in. Just line it up and snap it back down. And that's pretty much it. This model is super easy to pop open. All the stuff that you want to work on is on top. Nice design. You can get the fan out if you want right there. There is the fan model number if you need that for some reason. I mean, it's easy enough to open that you can just check yours, but that's the fan model number. Okay, and yeah, I don't think there's really anything else in here. I didn't pull the battery out, but it does look like the trackpad is underneath the battery with some screws there, so you can probably take that out if you really wanted to. Battery is held in with just these, oops, let me zoom out. Held in with just these two screws. Once you remove that, you can actually lift it up at an angle and then pull it out. There are little feet here that tuck in. Let me clean out some of this dust and junk. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead now and just put this thing back together, and we should be good to go. I'm gonna have to run some tests on it to see why it's doing blue screen. I haven't seen any issues with the blue screen since I've been working on it. I did try moving it around. They told me that it blue screens when they pick it up and move it around, but I've been like shaking it around, kind of setting it down a little rough just to see, and I haven't had any issues with that, so I think it should be okay. We'll put this all back together. Maybe it has to warm up a bit, so I need to get the password from them. I'll try running a CPU and GPU stress test to see if that makes a difference. But yeah, I think we should be good. So this was kind of just a quick look inside. Hopefully it helps some of you guys. All right. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to put back these last few screws. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right. Let's go ahead and make sure it powers back on, of course. All right, flip that over, and let's turn this back on. And it's turning on just fine. So I think we should be fine. Their screen is a little bit wobbly. But other than that, yeah, that's like in the hinge, so I can't really do anything about that. But yeah, it looks fine. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.